Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Off the Clock, and it's 10:36 at night, so we're definitely off the clock. I'm Sim,
I'm Mike.
and yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Jaylen Brown signs the richest contract in NBA history. He just signed a supermax with the Boston Celtics.
$304 million over 5 years.
304 over 5 years. It's a lot of money.
Whew,
That is a
that's more
lot
than a
of
lot of
money.
money.
You know, man. I mean, the Celtics. Let's put it like this: they've committed to this guy, and by way of committing to Jaylen Brown, they've committed to Jason Tatum. I don't want to say they've committed to Kristaps Porzingis, but they've definitely committed to Jason Tatum through this contract.
Yeah, definitely. They're letting him know and the world know he's not going anywhere for the next 5 years because
Yeah,
nobody's
without a
touching
doubt.
that contract on his fifth year.
Say that again.
No one is going to try to take that contract, so it'd be a hard trade for somebody, anyways.
Yeah, at least until maybe the last 2 years. When people might look at it and say, okay, well, the contract is almost up. Blah 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 blah. Blah. You know what I mean?
Right,
Uh,
right.
the contract, ladies and gentlemen, in 24-25, he makes $52.3 million. But I'm gonna read it all out. $52,368,085. That's what he makes in 24-25. 25-26, $56,557,531.80.
Need that 80 cents.
I
Run
need
me
it.
that 80 cent.
In 26-27, $60,746,978.60. In 27-28, $64,936,425.40. And in 28-29, $69,125,872.20. And if I'm Jaylen Brown, I want my 20 cents. If I don't get my 20 cents, I'm going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? I want my 20 cents.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I want every single last dime of that money. I don't know. What do you think about it, man? That's a lot of money. $304 million. Is Jaylen Brown worth $304 million?
Man, I mean, I guess everybody's worth what someone else is willing to pay,
That's true. That's
but
true.
I haven't. I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't pay him no 300. There's very few people in the league that I see are worth $304 million over
Right.
5 years,
Right.
maybe over 10 years, but 5 years, that's a lot of money. Um, it's probably what, maybe like 4 guys in the league that are worth that.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I don't think he's really worth that. But maybe they see, you know, the future with him and know something we don't.
I mean, I think it probably, comes down to somewhere along the way. It has to also come down to how much money they expect they're going to make in the future, right? How much money um, they're going to get through, other like TV deals. The NBA is going to get through TV deals. So how much of that money is going to come back to the Boston Celtics? So they've
Right.
got to figure that in the future, not just is he going to be worth that amount of money, but they're going to be able to afford to pay that amount of money. They're going to expect that the salary cap is going to rise. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that they'll be able to pay, him and Jason Tatum and whoever else that they need to pay, and still have enough money under the salary cap. Now, teams are also exercising and using the different tax thresholds. There's the luxury tax threshold, and they're kind of using that luxury tax threshold as a hard cap. I feel like, this luxury tax thing was supposed to stop the teams from overspending, because you have this hard cap once you get to that luxury tax, like, that last threshold. You have this hard tax and you just can't go over it. But I think teams are looking and saying, okay, this is the hard cap. We're going to spend money up to it,
Yeah.
and not worried about, because along the way there are different types of incentives that get taken away, or different punishments. You know what I'm saying? Things that you can't do in free agency, so on and so forth. So it seems like, teams like the Celtics, who are trying to go for it all right now, are like, it don't matter. We don't care about these other little things being taken away. We've already built a championship contender. Now we just got to go out there and win it. They better win it. They better win it, giving away this kind of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They definitely are putting all their eggs in one basket right now. I'm thinking over the next couple of years, they're not worried about the repercussions of spending the money right now. They're going all in. They want championships. They pretty much have, they got, obviously they got Brown, they have Tatum, they got Porzingis, they got a couple other people as well. So I think they feel like they have their roster, and they don't really need to worry about if they lose a pick or whatever in the future, in the next year or two. So, I mean, if they want to go ahead and spend this type of money and handle the consequences later, more
Yeah. I
power
mean,
to them.
I mean, listen, they're over the luxury tax right now. Okay. Their team payroll is $177.5 million. That's this season right now. Jason Tatum makes 32.6. Jaylen Brown makes 31.8. Kristaps Porzingis makes 36 million. Next season, 24-25, Porzingis signed an extension, all right, in order to be traded to the Boston Celtics. So he's on the books for 29.2 next season. Jason Tatum's on the books for 34.8, and now Jaylen Brown is on the books for what is that? 52.3.
Well, the 52.3 wouldn't kick in until the 24-25 season.
That's what I'm saying. 24-25.
Okay.
This season he makes 31.8.
Right.
This season coming up. Next season, 24-25, he'll make 52.3. Right? And while he's making 52.3, Jason Tatum makes 34.8, and Porzingis makes 29.2. Malcolm Brogdon makes 22.5. Right? So with his contract currently, they're at $182 million for the 24-25 season. That's what their team salary is. I guess they think they know what that luxury tax line is going to be.
What are they going to do when Tatum go for his new contract next season? The off season next year.
Tatum's contract is next season.
Yeah, I think he looks for extension as well.
He has a player option at the end of next season. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Tatum, he's going to want his money.
I mean,
and it's probably going to be bigger than Brown's.
If you're paying Jaylen Brown 31.8, I'm sorry, if you're paying Jaylen Brown $304 million, you already know. I mean, Jason Tatum's looking like, okay.
Yeah.
And
Tatum is in the back clapping like, thank you. Thank
you. He told his wife, hey, go buy that Rolls Royce. We good.
Buy 3 of them.
Buy 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? We are good. Because and we're gonna spend even the last 20 cents we're going to spend on that Rolls Royce. You know what I'm
It'll
saying?
probably be 45 cents.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Jason Tatum definitely is going to get that same type of a contract. What do you think about Kristaps Porzingis?
I don't see him getting a contract like that.
Right. I don't see it either. You know, I
If
mean,
he
the
if he plans to
contract,
stay on the floor this season and not get hurt and stay injury free maybe, and he's averaging 27, 28 points a game,
mhm,
maybe he gets close.
yeah, I don't know. Me
Maybe.
personally, I think in order for Kristaps Porzingis to receive another huge contract, okay, well, let's put it like this. He may receive a contract that's 25 to 30 million dollars only because of inflation, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know, salaries are getting higher. Uh, so he may receive that, but I think his contract, when you compare it to the rest of the NBA, you know, is not going to be one of the richest contracts. Let's put it like that.
No, no.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be, you know, middle of the pack or whatever you
Mhm.
want to say, but I don't think it's going to be this super rich contract. I just don't think KP is that player right now. Now he can prove everybody wrong and be totally healthy, help the Celtics advance to the NBA Finals or win the NBA Finals, and then now you're looking at, hey, we might have to pay this guy.
Yeah, because he might be his agent's gonna argue, "Hey, he was the missing piece last season. You
Right,
needed him,
right,
and then we
right,
won a championship because he's on the team."
right.
So, whew, I don't
Yeah,
know if the Celtics shot themselves in the foot or
I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know. I'll say this: Knicks fans wanted to trade for Jaylen Brown. Probably not now. That's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I don't know if they're trying to do it now. They might. They might because somebody. I mean, for any team in the league, at some point in time, if you think you're a championship contender, you're probably going to have to pay one of your players this amount of money or more. That's just the way salaries are. I mean, you know, everybody was just bugging out because Damian Lillard a few years ago signed a crazy contract. Now look,
Yeah.
this man is in 28, 29 is going to make 69 million. 69 million and 20 cents. I'm not going to forget about that 20 cents.
Nah, you
'Cause
can't
I
forget
want
about
my
that
20
20
cents.
cent.
If I look and my bank account is 20 cents short, I'm coming to talk to the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to
Right.
talk to the Celtics.
Sending emails, text messages, making phone calls.
Right. Right. Um, are the Celtics, are the Celtics, they didn't make it to the championship last year. Listen, people thought that the Celtics had the most complete team in the league. Defense, scoring. They didn't make it to the chip. Are they a championship contender? I mean, no. They're a championship contender. Can they win the NBA Finals with this team? Now that they've added Kristaps Porzingis, does KP put them over the top? Do you think?
If KP stays healthy, yeah. If he stays healthy and consistent throughout the season, they have a serious chance to win the championship.
Hmm.
Um, he adds more scoring, outside scoring. He's a big guy. He can
Right.
handle himself for the most part. So yeah, if he stays healthy, I say, I mean, he doesn't need to play like every game uh throughout the season as far as staying healthy. But if he stays healthy about 80% of the season, I say, and through the playoffs, he's coming into the playoffs super healthy, like no type of injuries, 100% or 95%.
Hmm.
They're winning the championship
Hmm.
and staying consistent. Of course, if he's scoring 20+ points a game, it's going to be hard to stop the Celtics.
Right.
I mean, they might bust. They might average 110 points a game, 115 points a game throughout the season.
Yeah. I feel like the Celtics got softer though.
No defense for KP.
I mean, but the loss of Marcus Smart, the loss of Grant Williams, I feel like
Yeah.
they got softer. I don't think their defense is going to be the same
No,
unless they make some other moves and pick up some other people. I don't see their defense being the same.
no, it won't be Smart. Smart, I feel like he was the anchor of that defense,
Yeah,
the anchor of the team, really.
yeah. I mean, I feel like the Celtics just got gentrified this season. You know what I'm saying? Like they were gritty. They were gritty.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's just because KP is white. I'm just that's I'm not saying, and I don't even want to say just because. I'm not saying it because KP is white.
Right.
But I feel like they got gentrified. They was gritty. Right? Marcus Smart was the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Move those guys out the way, bring in KP. Now they're a little bit more flossy and glossy, but less grit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that sounds like gentrification to me. And then look at the big old contract. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you move in, you move out all the old houses and bring in all the, the Starbucks and Chipotle's and all this stuff, and now can't nobody afford to pay rent because everything went up. You know what I'm saying? Now the Celtics. What'd you say?
The McMansions came in, and
and so now the Celtics are paying Jaylen Brown $304. Yeah, the Celtics got gentrified.
Yeah,
they got gentrified. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the Celtics over the next few years because they're gonna have to pay Jaylen Brown, then they're gonna have to pay Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens with Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, let me ask you this: whether or not you believe they're a championship contending team, is it imperative that they win a championship during the life of Jaylen Brown's contract or the life of Jason Tatum's contract? Is it imperative that they win it?
It's very imperative because it's going to be the Celtics will never live that down if they don't win a championship within this next 5 years.
They will not.
And they better, in the next 5 years, not even just win a championship, but they better make it to the Eastern Conference Championship every single year.
I mean, they already did that.
But the next 5 years, they have to get there every single year and at least one chip. They had to be a continuous contender for the next 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, you've been looking, Jaylen Brown is young, Jason Tatum is young, Porzingis is for the most part young. Yeah, I mean, if that's their nucleus, they have a young nucleus, a very good young nucleus, I guess. You know what I mean? So, a little bit soft. Listen, both Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, these guys floated away against Miami a little bit. There was where are they? We looking for them, we can't find them. Kristaps Porzingis, he's got that kind of a reputation too, obviously because of injuries and Marcus Smart used to throw Kristaps Porzingis around when he played for the Knicks.
Right.
So that we'll find out. I don't know if the grit is gonna be there. I don't know if it's gonna be there for the Celtics, and because of that, they're young enough to be, I think, an annual contender. They're young enough where you would say these guys should be able to rise to championship level and stay at championship level because they're so young. It's something about the team, though, that I feel like something's missing. Something's amiss. Something's not there. I don't know.
Right.
I hope they better hope
It's
it's
exactly
there.
what you said. It's exactly what you said. That grittiness. If they, I would have more confidence in this team if they had kept Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
If they had kept him, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if they had kept him, he was the true leader of the team. But hey, maybe Jaylen Brown is going to step up, and they are like, hey, we about to pay you, so you got to step up and become
Yeah.
what Marcus Smart
Yeah.
was.
How many phone calls you think Jaylen Brown is getting? Hey, Jaylen, you owe me 25. Remember that $25 I let you hold when we was 14? Interest, bro. Interest.
He lucky I ain't got his number.
150% interest on that $25. I
Right.
don't know how much it is right now, but 150% interest. I want my money.
Round that off to about 2 mil. Call it even.
Word. No wonder why I seen pictures of Jaylen Brown on the internet dancing, singing 50 Cent makeover songs and whatnot. That man knew he was about to get paid.
He has one hell of an agent.
He got that supermax, man. I mean, is it more? Let me ask you: do you think is it more of the agent, or do you think the Celtics was just kind of in this situation where we need to keep Jaylen Brown, we need to keep Jason Tatum. This is our nucleus, so we got to pay him.
It was probably a combination of both. I feel like the agent probably used that because, the agent is probably in there. Hey, Brown, you need to renew his contract. You want to keep him. We know you don't want to get rid of him because if you did, you would have been got rid of him. So you need to pay him. He need a supermax. He was already underpaid, I guess, as far as they feel like it was, as far as they're considered. So
I guess that man's about to make $31 million. I don't know if that's I guess that's underpaid. I don't know. It's a lot of money.
yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Whole lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, man. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I did want to ask you, because I did mention there's probably about 3 or 4 players, a small handful of players that are worth, I feel like now worth this contract. Do you feel like there's anybody else that was worth this contract over top of Jaylen Brown?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like for me, it's only a few players in the league that's worth that kind of money. You know what I mean? Only a few players. Giannis is probably one of them.
Yep.
I mean, right now, I can't say a few years ago LeBron was. I can't say he is now.
I agree.
Right? Who else in the league is worth that kind of money? My man over there in Denver, Jokic.
Joker.
Yeah. I could see why they would give Jokic that kind of contract. I don't know who else. It's only a few guys in the league. I'm not sure if Jaylen Brown is one of those guys. Like, I'm not sure if he's one of those guys. You know what I mean?
2 weeks ago, if I asked you, would you pay Jaylen Brown $300 million? Or
I would have said, hell no.
If I asked you, who would you pay $300 million to play for your team? Jaylen Brown wouldn't have even entered your radar.
He wouldn't have came up.
Gotcha.
40 million a year. I'd have been like, okay, I get it. That's that's the going rates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
An average of $60 million a year for Jaylen Brown. I would have said, nah, it's not happening. You know what I mean? Quiet money. What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling? Appreciate you jumping in. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts, Quiet Money? Jaylen Brown signs that supermax. What's your thoughts on that, man? The richest contract in NBA history. A lot of money. I tell you what, quiet. Uh, I don't see Leon Rose making any moves for Jaylen Brown now. Now with $304 million on the table. You know what I mean? I don't know. Luca, Giannis.
You said Luca?
Yeah, I mean Luca.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, maybe Luca, Giannis, and what's his name? I mean, you figure. I don't know about Luca. I meant what's his name?
Joker.
Joker, Giannis.
I figured that's what you meant. That's why I was like, you sure you saying Luca?
You know, Joker, Giannis. You know what I mean? You know, I think Ja was on his way to being one of those guys. But now all this stuff, you know what I mean, is all this stuff is crazy. Quiet Bunny said it's the new wave. He won't be the last player to get that type of bag. Oh, no doubt about it. He definitely won't be the last player to get that type of bag. Remember, Mike Conley, you know what I mean, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, he got a nice bag. And he hadn't even ever made an all-star team, and he had the richest contract in NBA history. And now you look at that contract, it's like nothing. Easily nothing.
That's
You know what I
definitely
mean?
pocket change.
Easily. You know, nothing. You know, so yeah, that's what those contracts going to be doing. You know what I mean?
What about Steph Curry?
At this age right now, no, I wouldn't pay to him. Not at this age. You know, if you're paying a guy that kind of money, you know, you want that guy to be 25 years old,
Right.
26 years old. You know, or you know, at the beginning of their prime, not towards the end of their prime. No diss to Steph Curry, but not towards the end of their prime. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
Butler?
because Jimmy Butler,
Yeah.
no, no, not that much. Because Jimmy Butler is reaching, you know, he's reaching the end of his prime.
Yeah, yeah.
He's probably in the middle of his prime, getting ready to start flowing downhill. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
You know, it's not too many people. Joel Embiid, maybe. I don't know. There's gonna be some guys
Yeah.
coming up. I mean, listen, Quiet Money is right. These, you know, this is ushering in a new wave of contracts that are gonna be this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of guys. It's gonna be a lot of guys that's getting paid. You know, gonna be a lot of guys getting paid. Quiet Money said Leon and Dolan don't seem like they're trying to spend money. I think it's like a makeup for all the years of Dolan throwing money out the window on bum contracts. Yeah, you might be right. You know, they're not trying to do anything crazy. I mean, I think Leon and Dolan basically are, you know, they're trying to keep it safe. You know, they want to be
Right.
safe and they want to know. I mean, but listen, if they were in this situation, they might have paid him. If the Knicks were in a situation where they're championship contenders, they've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals several times in a row. They've made it to the NBA Finals. You know, and both their nucleus is young. They might have paid him.
Right.
Of course, the Knicks would have gotten way more flack than the Boston Celtics are going to get. You know what I'm saying? But I think they might have paid him. I'm hoping that we get into that type of situation where we got to make a decision on whether or not we're going to pay someone that keeps us in championship contention. Got to get there though.
Y'all need some scores.
I mean, we got scores.
Everyday scores. I
Saying
got tons of defense, which is
Jalen
great.
Brunson can get buckets.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson gets buckets. Quickly can get buckets. Randall can get buckets. He just got to get him in the playoffs.
That's
Dante
true.
DiVincenzo on the squad now. He can get buckets like the Knicks. The Knicks got a squad that I ain't saying they're championship contenders, but they're decent. You know what I mean? They're decent. The Boston Celtics consider themselves. They thought they should have won the championship last year. I'm pretty sure they're looking at saying, "Oh, we got to win it this year. We made this move for KP. He's got an extension." You know what I'm saying? Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum's he's gonna want the same kind of money.
Whew.
Yeah,
He's going to want
yeah,
more.
he's gonna want more. He's gonna want more. Celtics better be ready to have deep pockets. But look, the one thing, and I'm gonna go on and talk about the Knicks a little bit later on. Quiet money, so be on the lookout for that. Maybe about 11:45. But the one thing that this does, this sets up um, this is like a line in the sand, not a line in the sand, but this is something for other teams to look at now. You know what I mean? So when they have a player who's been averaging something similar to Jaylen Brown, that player and his agent is going to say, "Well, look at what Jaylen Brown got. Look at my numbers." You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's going to be, the start of a negotiating point. You know, good thing for the Knicks. R.J. Barrett's locked up half the price of this, less than half the price of this.
I'm about to say.
Julius Randle is locked up for less than half the price of this. Jalen Brunson is locked up for less than half the price of this for a few years. So, you know what I mean? The Knicks they're going to be able to avoid paying this amount of money for a little while. Jalen Brunson is going to be the first guy that they might have to really pay him big money. Not this kind of money, but big money.
Right. Yep.
He may be the first one because Jalen Brunson, his contract, well, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, the Knicks are going to have to make a decision about both of those guys in the same year at the end of 24-25. So,
Whew.
I don't know. I don't know if they're paying any one of those guys that amount of money.
I think I got one good season left in me. I think I
I mean,
can
I
strap
got
up.
one. I got one. I got one. You know what I'm saying? They
Just
can
pay me.
give me. They can give me 368,000 for a year, 557,000 for a year, 746 for a year, 936 for a year. Once I take 2 million, they can take all that off, give it to Jaylen Brown. They get the rest of Jaylen Brown. I'll take the, shoot. I got a couple years, got a couple good years left in me.
Right.
I can go
Exactly.
till I'm 50. I can go till I'm 50.
Pop a couple Tylenols every night afterwards.
Yeah, I let them shoot me up with something to keep the pain away. Anyway, man, I don't know. We'll see. It's a crazy contract. See if he deserves it. So that's all we can really say. We'll see if he deserves it.
Yeah.
See if he deserves it. See if he can help lead them to a championship. I think with this contract now and with what's coming, it's got to be a championship or bust for the Boston Celtics. It's got to be.
Definitely.
Got to be a championship bust.
I don't see it any other way.
Yeah.
Don't see it any other way. I don't care if you make it to the championship game 5 years in a row. You got to win one or it's a bust.
Right.
You don't pay people that much money to not win championships.
Right. And the thing is, a few years ago, not a few years, well, yeah, a few years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, when just before Kyrie went to the Celtics, people were like, yo, like they had all kinds of draft picks and, all that kind of stuff. And they had assets, but they weren't using them. And people were like, yo, you're not using these assets. When are you guys going to use the assets? Well, now they're doing exactly opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
Quiet Money said, I guess the playoffs wasn't a barometer like the fans made it out to be. Yeah, that's true. True. Big time. You know what I'm saying? Because Jaylen Brown was one of those guys that people were, getting on him because of the playoffs. And look, look, and look. But once you make that 52 mil though, Quiet Money, once you make that 52 mil, ain't no more, oh, well, he's learning. You can't pull a disappearing act. You know what I'm saying? You got to show up, show out now. You know what I mean? You got to show up, show out.
exactly.
Anyway, man, I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here. Start preparing for this little MBK show because I haven't been on in a while. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna jump on that, do about 30 minutes or so. Any last things, Mike?
Nah, I think I got everything out. Good luck to the Celtics. Congratulations, Jaylen Brown. You're my new hero. So
shout out to my man Jaylen Brown.
Right.
Big money.
You owe me $50.
Big money. Big money. Big
Round
money.
Of applause.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate your time, man. And we about to jump on up out of here. We're gone. I looked at the wrong way I'm so used to being home. I'm looking up here for the camera. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.